Hello, welcome to my channel Dark Matrix. My name is Tina. Today I'm gonna talk about near-death experiences. Already shedding some light on its darker side. I've been mentioning near-death experiences in my videos quite often, as this is one of the biggest link to the closest to verify that there is life on the other side after we cross over. So I'm always putting in my analysis of the subject is, but I would like to talk today about a site that it's revealing that not all is good and well. First of all, there are two types of NDEs, as they are called. There are heavenly experiences and hellish experiences. Some people experience these wonderful places, wonderful feelings, and the others find themselves in quite a dark environment that I consider like hellish, not so good on the other hand. But I'm not going to talk today about those hellish experiences, surprisingly. I'm going to talk about the darker side of the heavenly experiences, because this is something that needs to be analyzed and looked into. People normally think about, when they hear about NDEs, that this is wonderful, because that gives us kind of like proof that we continue, that there's afterlife. So it sounds good, it brings us hope that when we die we're gonna cross over to another level of existence. Okay, so it sounds positive, and majority of those experiences that are documented are on a very positive note. People talk about heaven, talk about the wonders of that other side, the colors that they never witnessed here on earth, about love that they never experienced, the fantastic all-knowing feeling, the ease with thinking, with moving, with how it makes them feel. So it's rather positive. I mean, it's been quite well received, and especially within the New Age community, that they kind of talk about it in a very positive manner, that this is all about love, it's all about positive experiences of learning in here, that there's nothing to fear, that they talk about forgiveness, of course. So yeah, I mean, they got quite a bit of popularity lately, especially I would say lately, the last I would say 20 years or so. There have been many books published, mainly by people who experienced it firsthand, the near-death experience, and they wrote book about the experience. But why I want to talk about this heavenly, wonderful experience in a negative manner? Because, because yes, I mentioned already that a couple of years ago, so I managed to look into it properly, and I studied around like 800 of those cases, where I noticed the common theme that I did not like. What did I not like? Well, first of all, the main theme is that all of these people, with not one exception, they had to come back here and their wish to stay on the other side was totally disregarded. They had to come back because they were told that family needs them, children need them, that, and also that they have some unfinished, that there's a mission here that they have to complete. I talked about it yesterday. So those were fair enough reasons that were given to these people as a, so they had to come back here. And in my opinion, no reason is good reason if it interferes with your free will. If you have a choice, that choice should be respected. And what I see here is rather a lack of choice. So this is one of the aspects that I noticed I didn't like. Another aspect of this NDE heavenly experience was that what these people remember, it's like insane beauty, insane wellness, well-being, but they don't remember what took place during that visit to this place. I mean, what took place in a sense, they always had conversations with some beings or being, and the contents of those conversations is very blurry. There's many things missing. They all say that this is only partially what they remembered after they came back to the body. And not and certain things, like they ask certain deep questions. Lots of them ask about what is the meaning of life here, and of course they did not get the answer to this. And I've noticed also that when they really dig into the questions, many times it happens when they question. Few people question identity of the beings that they were dealing with, and at that precise moment they were kicked back into the body. So this is where their NDE, where their experience ended. They may have felt before that question, there was this moment of elated feeling, this euphoria, and suddenly they say, but they questioned the being, and suddenly, with no warning whatsoever, they were kicked back. Of course, majority were sent back anyway. But what I don't like, that some of these people, vast majority, it's almost like by force they were sent back. They were sent by force. They resisted. They didn't want to try to reason with those beings. They tried to give them reasons why they don't want to come back. And despite anything, whatever they said, some usually they just receive those blank look, or suddenly there was no warning, they were just zoomed, kicked, like several people remembered being pushed, almost like physically pushed, and they ended up back in the body, in the physical body. They remember this feeling of violent thought, like they were thrown, like something, that you thrown onto the floor because you don't need it, and almost like they didn't have any value, these people. It was just pushed because it was inconvenient. These people inconvenient those beings with those questions. They didn't feel comfortable. So this is another theme which I found it very disturbing, because those beings supposed to be our spirit guides, which is mainly accepted that if they guide us spiritually here, okay, they're supposed to be like our guardian angels. Why would your guide that claims to be spiritual guide and your angel or whatever, why would they treat you in such a manner that it's not acceptable? I mean, isn't it horrific to even imagine that? You are here on this earth plane, you are having hard time, and then something happens, usually through some accident or illness, that you've got near-death experience, and you find yourself in a place where you feel free of worry, free of struggle. Suddenly, wow, I'm finally, oh my goodness. And that being appears claiming he's your spirit guide. Oh, by the way, it's not your time yet. This is the common theme they tell everybody. It's not your time. There were many people, from what I managed to gather of this information, that some of them spent quite a while on the other side. They were taken like on quite a big tour. They were shown cities, they were shown places like houses, lots of nice activity. Apparently they also met some relatives as well. But everything ended on the same note. It's not your time, so you have to go back. I got big issue about with that, really big issue, because that means that if you go during the NDE in there and you kicked back, what's going to happen when physical death comes? Are they going to say it's not your time, you have to go back immediately before you even had time to catch your breath in that so-called heaven, or what? And another thing is, what is that place exactly? The people who experience NDEs always say that this was heaven. They call it heaven because the way it made them feel and the way it looked. And another theme that I smell big deception in is that those beings, some of them, project so much light that it's almost blinding to the person that was experiencing that. Some people claim that they wanted to look at the face of the being that they were with, and the face was so bright with light that it was almost burning their eyes. They couldn't focus, they couldn't see anything but this blinding light. And I wonder why. I wonder why. I wonder what they were trying to hide, because this is all about hiding behind the light if it's blinding you. Why wouldn't, oh my goodness, the train outside. Why wouldn't they want that person to see their face? What is the problem? I mean, if you have something to hide, that means you're gonna do everything not to be recognized. So something is not quite right. Something is not quite right. Another thing is that there were some near-death experiences that I studied, and the stories were very disturbing, because it may seem like people have like almost heavenly experience until they notice, some people notice that the relatives that they thought were in front of them didn't look quite exactly as they remembered them in here. There was something like fake about them, almost artificial. Like there was one person I remember specifically said that they looked like cuttings from the paper, almost like flat. It was a flat surface, almost like I don't know, an image projected by some hologram or whatever, holographic images, this kind of thing going on. So was it really their relatives? I mean, or what? I mean, I know exactly how people that I know here, how they look like, how they sound, and if I saw that there was just an image of them, I wouldn't accept it. I mean, there was one person questioning this, and they said, well, but this is not my mother here. Looks so different, and immediately they said, oh no, don't worry, this is just her essence. Well, essence? What does exactly mean somebody's essence? Lots of people claim that your soul is kind of like defragmented when they talk about your higher self. Your higher self, it's almost like like there's some part of you existing in the different reality, and the other half, half and half, exists in here. I don't buy it, I'm sorry. In my opinion, all of you, your whole soul is in this body. There's no such a thing as your essence being taken away from you and placed somewhere else. This is to mislead people. This is to basically put some fake beliefs in, to create lots of confusion, really. Because how can you exist in two places at the same time? I don't have this sense that I got some higher self that exists somewhere else apart from where I am here right now. All of me is in here, in this body, stuffed in this body. Some call it a meat suit, yeah. So I'm stuffed in this meat suit here right now, talking to you guys. And I don't imagine that there is some essence of me somewhere else running a show separately. I don't think so. So please, look into it. If you're able to find some information regarding that, you can share it with everybody, but put some comments on with this video. Because I say again, I don't know everything. I'm questioning things, and I'm trying to dig into those things to find out as much as possible, because I feel we're being really lied to. It's a massive deception going on, that because people don't question. And if something is not questioned, then the evil who projects all this fake reality here is going to continue with fake information or misinformation, disinformation. So yes, it's very, very disturbing, because you would think that fantastic experience that somebody may have, that this is all the heaven. And I mean, try and watch some videos on YouTube about people. I mean, they talk about their own experiences, what happens to them. And notice how many views they have, how many subscribers and all that. I mean, people, and read some comments, that's what I was going to say mainly. Read comments. Everybody is going along with, oh, how fantastic, God is great and all this, or, but those are not questions. Why so fantastic? Fantastic that the person was kicked out of heaven, so-called heaven, and came back to tell us scraps of little bits and pieces of their experience. I don't think it's that fantastic. I find it disturbing. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, but I found it really extremely disturbing, because I got this sense of unease that something isn't right, that there's someone who creates this like advertising almost. Oh, don't worry, when you die you're going to go to a safe place, you're going to find yourself in safe heaven, things are going to be great. But no, they don't talk that you're going to come back here and then you're going to die again. I mean, when your life is over here, and then you're going to be probably reincarnated again, unless you're woken up to what is going on. So there's very little information about actually what exactly happens when we die, when not NDEs, because there's plenty of that material, but the information that what happens in between life. Let's say you died, you go on to that place, and I'm talking about that very period when you go up there, totally, when your body is gone in here, and when you cross over, and what happened between that time and the next time that you are being born here in a new body, and of course with a new identity. This period of time is of my biggest interest. And this is what I'm saying, there's very little, if any, much of information. So, yeah, looking into it is very important, because this is part of our rights to know. because we are the experiencers. We're gonna experience physical death, and it's all ahead of us. We're gonna experience this great unknown. So educating yourself and finding out as much as possible is very, very important. Accepting whatever the information is there based on these experiences that are not fully explained could be dangerous too. Because let's assume that you know absolutely nothing about the subject and you watched a couple of NDEs on YouTube videos, okay? And they sound fantastic, there's lots of hope, okay, wow, so, wow, the life doesn't end here, we go on, so this is great news. But this is where the great news is ending, basically. Because I want to know exactly what happens just after you cross over, who you're gonna meet, and how you're gonna conduct yourself to not to get trapped again. My concern is not to get trapped again, fooled and deceived again. I mean, my awareness is such at the moment that I don't think anybody can deceive me again, because I'm not planning to come back here. But I'm talking about, in general masses, I mean, everybody else, I mean, majority don't even think about it. Or maybe people think about it, but nobody questions. Talking about it is still a big taboo, and it's not something done because, who wants to sit with your friends and talk about death, about reincarnation and all this? People avoid this subject, and this is the most important subject. I think personally that this should be taught in school. Kids should be studying this. As young as 5-6 years old should be told about this subject. And instead, nobody mentions it ever. We are born here straight into the lap of a system that is taking control of us and shape us into how should we think, or what should we believe, and we have to behave. Yeah. So where's your free will? I mean, it's laughable, really laughable. But anyway, talking about NDEs, this is a very important subject to look into, and the great starting point to look into it properly is to start reading those books that people published about their experiences and watching as many videos as possible until you notice some pattern, some sort of common ground that is repeated, non-stop, repeated, which means that they did experience this out of body, out of here state, that they went to the other reality. And also you notice the same pattern of repentance of this almost glorified state of euphoria. It's all the time repeated, and that to me is not right, because it's a hard contrast between that moment and the moment when you kicked back and pushed back to your body. Really, this is important, really important. To keep in mind, I was always interested in afterlife. I was always interested, do we survive death? What happens to us? Reincarnation, well, I didn't know much about it for quite some time, and I would say in the last 10 years or so I've been looking into it closer, and looking into NDEs, seeing some patterns, some connections with each other, how to get a bigger picture, because every experience is different, every experience has some new aspect, and as I said, those experiences are mainly customized to the person's belief, who they are. So whatever you expect, it's very likely that it's exactly what you're gonna get there. But also there's this element of manipulation. Stay away from any unknown outside spirits that you know nothing about, who claim to be your spirit guides or whatever. don't confine your connections with them, like don't connect with them, even while you're still here, you know. I personally think it's quite dangerous to command to summon your spirit guides by even thinking about it, because you don't know exactly who's gonna come, what's gonna come through, and what's gonna influence your thinking and your actions. So we are stuffed in these bodies, and we are extremely limited in these bodies. That the body is not perfect at all. Um, our free will is minimal as well. So we are in a very disadvantaged end that basically uh, gives us very little move, very little like stand on anything, because we don't know those things. Digging into it is important. So I repeat this all the time again. How can I? What sort of attitude should I have regarding crossing over? Keeping open mind is important, but also have strong intentions of how you would like to be after you leave this place. Where would you like to exist? How would you like to feel? What would you like to continue? Even make a plan what you want to do, you know. Remember, don't limit yourself with creating your own imaginative reality, because this is exactly the place where you may find yourself after you cross over. This is how you create your own heaven. Because if somebody else creates heaven for you, remember, you're going to be guest in there. You're going to be treated like somebody who came over, and you know how it is. You go to somebody else's place, you have to behave. I mean, you have to listen what is being told to you, and you have to go by some law, some order, you know. You can't do exactly what you want, because it's not yours. You are a guest. So this is how I see it. Even if they say, oh, this is your home, you're going home. I mean, I don't remember having any home up there. My memory is being wiped totally, for one thing. And I don't recall any place that I've been to. But saying that, I have some very strange dreams, and that started when I was a teenager. For the past like 26 years or so, I've been keeping a dream diary, and I've noticed some dreams that I have, that I have lots of lucid dreams as well, and I dreamt of places that are familiar to me, but I never been to them, like here on earth, that I would recognize. So perhaps there is